right, there we go. Hey everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another great day of FileMaker training at fmtraining.tv. I'm the creator of fmtraining.tv, where you can learn all about the FileMaker platform and learn how to build better FileMaker applications for you, your customers, your organization. This broadcast is completely free to everyone and is being broadcast in high definition to Discord, YouTube, and to Twitch. This broadcast is being recorded, which is really great. Of course, we might clean up the recording a little bit, so if we make a malfunction during the live stream, then of course we reserve the right to clean that up on the recording later on. However, because it's a live broadcast, we encourage you to ask questions. In fact, some people get aggravated when there's this dialogue with you and we ask questions. We want questions. If you have a question, odds are other people have the question too. And so I want to thank everyone for logging in, Ken and TK and Dave One, Dave Learning, Ed, Elzo, Carol, Jake, Mike, all of you, welcome once again to another great broadcast. Now, as a reminder, if you want to check out the upcoming broadcast, go to fmtraining.tv, press the left tab for the live button. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. That's pretty awesome. Additionally, if you want to help support this channel, right? We always say this, this broadcast is brought to you by fmtraining.tv, bringing you the greatest and the most entertaining FileMaker training videos available. So the idea is that if you want to help support the channel, make sure you check out our on-demand video bundles. We have videos that cover the latest version of FileMaker. We have videos that cover the deploy course. In fact, we used to sell the courses individually. Anymore, it's just much simpler to sell a complete bundle for a low price. We do this on an annual basis. So if you buy one of the bundles, that really helps support the channel. It ensures that we can keep coming back every day because this broadcast actually takes a lot of money to run. The people here don't work for free. As much as I would love that to be the case, they do want to get paid. So moving along, today's broadcast is being supported by the folks at the Los Osos office. That would be Haley Marie, Christian Olson, and the awesome coaching team down there. They're originating the broadcast. And so let's go ahead and cut over to them right now and get our guest speaker going as well.
All right, welcome everyone. Today is Tuesday and we have a great 3-day presentation with Nick Hunter where we are going to be talking about Anchor buoys. So today will be day 1 of that. I'm really excited to hear what Nick has to say about that. So take it away.
Okay, thank you, Haley. Welcome everybody for this first day of the 3-day session. So I'm very excited about this one because many people ask me for this, not only on the webinar, but even outside and that for many times now. So I decided to do it in 3 days, and I hope I'm going to cover everything in 3 days. Normally I will. So today, good news, and the boss will have been very happy because today is good for beginners, very beginners, very beginners, people never even started yet to work with FileMaker. I mean, it's for a very entry level people and intermediate people. And I worked all over the weekend and even last week to think about the right angle to start to explain the relationship and stuff like that. And I think I found one which is funny. Maybe the theme of what I'm going to use is outdated, but it's not to me. It's still my favorite TV show. So I'm going to use a family kind of paradigm to explain the relationship, which is the best, in my opinion, the best kind of way to explain relationship, right? Family. So if you hear my gardeners in the back, sorry for that. They arrived just in the wrong time. So if you hear that, sorry, it's not going to stay long. So today I'm going to explain we are going to start with the beginning. Okay, what is a database, and what is a table, and what is what we call a table occurrence. Okay. So I'm going to explain to you that. So if you are very experienced with FileMaker, maybe that's not a good day for you, but you can stay with me and enjoy my company. So I'm going to start explaining what is a database. Okay. For that, I'm going to open FileMaker, which is a good start. And I'm going to create a new file, brand new. And I'm going to call it relationship. Database. Okay, so I'm going to open this. So I have a new file database here, a brand new file. So let me share my screen. Whoops, share my screen. I hope you guys see my screen. Yes, you do. That's great. So what is a database? That's a good question. A database is a file where inside the file you have what we call tables. Okay, so if you want to explain what a table is, you can go to Excel, right? A table will be the equivalent of a sheet. Okay, so this would be tables. For FileMaker, what you call in Excel sheets, that are tables. Okay, and inside tables you have columns, which is this will be records, will be fields, and then you have rows that would be a record. So let me explain. That would be tables. The column in Excel will be fields, and rows will be records. Table, fields, records. So this is what the database is. So we have table. Here I have one table called database. Okay, and I can rename it. So I'm going to use the theme. I'm going to use one of the most famous family in the American culture is the TV show Dallas Family. Is the Ewing's family and stuff like that. So I'm going to use this because it's still one of my favorite TV shows. So so I'm going to use that, okay, as a theme. Everything I'm going to say, everything I'm going to show you in this webinar is they are fictionary people, okay? So don't be mad. They are fictionary people. So I'm going to use this. And so let me explain what is a table. So you have a table. You can have multiple tables. You can create a table. Say, okay, you have a Nick's table, okay, or Nick table. Or you can have a Haley table. And for each table here, you have fields inside. Okay, so inside database, for example, I can create a field, name a name, and I can have a first name, last name, whatever you want to call whatever you want to call the field. So the fields, the table, so table has fields, see, inside, and then now that you have a table and a field, you can have what we call a relationship. By default, FileMaker is creating a relationship, what we call relationship. But the terminology is not very accurate here. That is a relationship, but this here we call TOs, table of occurrence. That's the name of this. So let me show what a solution without TO look like. Okay, I have tables, I have fields, but I have no TOs. I have no table of occurrence. Okay, so what does that mean for a solution like this? Okay, it means that I have absolutely no way to display data. I have no way to call anything. If I create a script, and I want to set field, I have no way, to call a field. I have no way to access data. Pretty much, I have no entry ports to data. A table of occurrence, that a TO, it's an entry port. It's where you connect the physical world, the face of your solution, you connect what you see and what you interact with, you connect that to the table. So the table here has the fields, the table has the records. So, but if I want to access, if I want to have a port of entry, like an airport, let's say, if you want to land in San Francisco, you need to land at SFO. This is a port of entry to land in San Francisco. So a TO will be a port of entry. So let's create a TO. So I'm creating a new one here, and I want a port of entry to go to the NIC, for example, table. Okay. So I create a TO. So now I have a port of entry to NIC. That is NIC table. Okay. So now that I have this, I can go and start showing records and showing things because I have a port of entry. So now I can have a layout that points to that TO. Okay. And I can have access to fields. And now my script here, I can say set field, and I can set field now to NIC because at least I have one. So by default, FileMaker is naming when you create, let's say, let me do it again. When you create a TO and you call Heli, for example, by default, FileMaker will name the TO with the name of the table. This is a table. This is the name of the TO. But I can say, hello, how are you? Okay? I can call it that way. I can call it this. Right? A TO can have a different name from the table. Why? Because I can have multiple TOs that point to the same file, to the same table. They are all pointing to Eli, all of them, but they have different names, and they can be used, each of them can be used as a port of entry. Let's go there. So if I go here, you see here, I can have all of those can be used as a port of entry, okay? All of them can be used. So this is what is the role of the TOs, okay? So now the TOs also have another role here. But first I want to check if we have some questions. Haley?
Not a question. I was waiting to see if you would get to this one point, but something Nate brought up was that if you created a few records and exported it to a CSV file and then opened with an Excel, it would really hit the point of the concept that you were trying to show there. But I thought at one point you would get to that.
Yeah, maybe not. This is maybe off topic.
Yeah.
It's not related to relationship. I just wanted to make I just want to explain the Excel metaphor to explain, so people with newbies with Excel experience, they can now identify what it was in FileMaker. So I might do, if they want, you know the rules now. You have the buzzer. You can press the buzzer if you want a CSV, if you want an export as Excel or export whatever. I can explain to you. I can have a webinar for that. I can have a session for that. But I don't want to spoil this one with this. This is too much off topic.
Okay, that's fine. So then another question. Sorry, Bilbo asked can you confirm that if we change the name of a table, it doesn't break the TO or any other relationships?
Yeah, I confirm. You can name the table as, you can name the table, everything. You can do whatever you want. You can rename a TO. There's absolutely no incidents. You can rename a field, no incidents whatsoever. If you have if the file has been built in the right way, because there's some ways where you can break things, but you need to do the very bad thing to do that. But otherwise, if you use FileMaker naturally, it won't break. So
Okay.
I can rename this and change it, and nothing gets broken. I mean, it's following. You see. So no, yeah. So the answer is no. You don't break it. So let me continue now. So now we understand what is a TO. So now let's see what is a relationship. Okay, a relationship is, let's say I have a. Let me rename this one. Okay. So what is the relationship? Okay. So let's say in Haley here, I'm calling here a foreign key. Okay. I have a foreign key. Let me remove this pollution here. I have the primary key, the foreign key, and here I have only the primary key. Here I have a name, and here I have an address, for example. Okay. So I have two tables. So let's put some name here. Let's say here I have contacts. Okay. So let's put some real name here. Okay. I have contacts. Okay. And here I have addresses. Okay. So, for example, this is what I have. So now here I'm going to create. So I have two tables here, right? So I want to create a relationship between those two. So I have a TO for contact and another TO for addresses. Okay. And now I'm saying that primary key here becomes the foreign key here, right? And I want to create records from this, but I'm not going to explain too much here since I'm going to come back to that. Okay. So that's pretty much a traditional kind of relationship that we have. So to establish a relationship, you just click here, see, you select this here, and then you drag here on top of this, and then you create a relationship. And then here you have some options. Okay, I want to create a record here. Okay, and then I will show you what that does. So let's say now I'm going to the contacts layout. So I'm creating a layout here from the contacts port of entry. So I have my TO, okay, contact that points to the contact database, what's the name? Contact table. So now I can create, or I can have a layout, a port of entry to that. Okay. So I have the contact and I see the name here. Okay. And then I have a related table from contacts. How I know it is related? Because when I select the way to access related data is to use a portal. Okay. So we call that portal. This is a portal. This tool here, portal, display record from related table on the layout. See, it tells you what it is. So you have a portal, kind of a port of entry, and you want to use the related table. See, because I have one related addresses. It's related. So if I had other, let's say I have this one, for example, C database. Let's rename blah, whatever. Okay. So this occurrence here, let's say I have it, is not linked. See, it's not related. There's no relationship between those two. There's no relationship like this one here, right? So now, if I draw here, the portal, it says, oh, address is related, but blah is not. So, and I cannot access blah, it's not related. So this is how you recognize what you can access from contact and what you cannot access, right?
Got it.
So far, so good.
Yep.
So
good.
if I say I want address, and I want the address here, so now I have a portal with this. So I create a new record, I say Nick, and I have our address blah, and I have a blah, and I have blah, and I have blah, and I have blah. So now I create records. I create related records in the address So if you go to the table here, you see that contacts has 1 record, right? And addresses have 5 records. So this record, those records here are linked to Nick. If I create a new record and I say Haley, right?
Yep.
Now those, I put numbers, okay? Those records here are linked to Haley. If I go back to Nick, I have the one related to Nick. So this is what a relationship does. Here I'm explaining to you. What I want to explain is not too much of the relationship and stuff. I don't want to explain you this guy here. I'm not going to explain you this guy today, but I'm going to explain you those people, not those. That's another course for that. But I'm going to explain you how those work. The TOs. You see here, I have a block and offer a TO here. Let's call it, I don't know, let's call it projects, okay? The project here, okay? And I want to relate it contact to project as well. So I rename this project, okay? And I can relate I need to create in the project, let's remove this. And this is a project name. And this is a foreign key, let's say, whatever. Delete, this is text. And I want the foreign key. Okay? The foreign key, that will be the key I'm going to use in the relationship to link the contacts. So I have my contact and I want to link to the foreign key as well. So you can see now I have 1 contact, right? And I have 2 related TOs. So now, here, I can have 2 tables. This will be address, right? And here I have my projects. So I have 2 tables now. So now I have this, and then this is a project 1 and project 2 and project 3, etc. Okay, so now I have addresses and project related to Haley. Now I have Nick and I have Nick's project related to Nick, right? So this is how relationship works. Could be interesting while this database expand. Need to use a standardized naming. Yeah. Don't worry, Bilbo. I'm coming to this. Naming is tomorrow. Okay, you are free. We have 3 days. Now I'm going to show you something interesting. Sorry, I just want to lay down the foundation of this, just to remind people what the relationship is doing. Yes, but this demo is easier for the beginner. Yeah, exactly. So this was for the beginners. I want to please everybody. So now I'm going to engage the second speed. Okay. So I assume that everybody knows now what a TOC is for. It's a point of entry. It's a point of entry to access the related data. It's a point of entry also for layout. For example, you see I have a point of entry for database here. I have a layout that points to, I have a layout here that points to contact. But I want a layout now that points to their address, for example. Okay? And I want this to be a table view. And so now I'm creating, I'm accessing address. So now I have another layout. Okay? I have another layout with the addresses. So now I have 2 access points. So those TOs, those are point of entry for layout, and each of them can be a point of entry. And I can have multiple layouts pointing to the same port of entry. You may want one that shows this, and you want another one that shows differently because it's played on iPhone, on iPad, or whatever. Okay, so a TO you can access from anywhere, and you can have a layout, you can have many things attached to it. So now I want to destroy this, and I want, maybe not destroy, let's put on the side for now. And I want to explain to you, so you remember I told you I want to explain to you what a spider web is. What is the difference between spider web relationship map and Anchor Bouy relationship map? So this is where everything starts. So buckle up. This is when it starts to be interesting. So remember I said I want to take, I needed to use a large family that many people knows, and sorry for youngers, but anyway, it's a family. So I create this and I say, okay, let's talk with the father of the family. So you have Joe Ewing, okay, has a son named JR, okay, and he has another son named Bobby, okay. So now all are related together, this guy and this guy together, right? Bobby has a wife named Pamela, okay? But Pamela has a father named Digger, and Digger has a son named Cliff. So Pamela is linked to Digger because she's the daughter of Digger, and Digger is linked to Cliff because Cliff is the son of Digger. But Pamela is also married to Bob Ewing. So now I started create one block of entity and another block of entity, and now those two are related together because I link Pamela to Bobby because they are married. Now you have another family. You have another son here named Gary. Okay. So that's the first son of Jock. So Jock is the son of Gary. Okay. Gary is with one girl named Valine. Okay, they're married, and Lucy is the daughter of Gary and Valine. But also, Lucy is the niece of JR, and here you have the problem. Now that because everything related together, so pretty much everybody linked to everybody, okay? Because it's like it's a family. So Pamela and Bob and Jock, not Jack, it's John, and JR, and okay. But now the problem is, okay, you need Lucy. You have Lucy, which is the daughter of Valine, but she's also related to JR, but you cannot have those two together because they are already linked together. This one, they are related. So you create a new entity saying this is JR Ewing, this is the uncle. Right?
Yep.
So you start having multiple port of entry, you have multiple TO pointing to the same entity, which is to the same table, okay? But they have different purposes. This one is because Lucy is he's the uncle of Lucy, and this one is because and here is because she is also the. So you could have done also, if you do this, now you create a new Lucy, and you say, okay, Lucy now, she's a niece. So you see the problem of her, and I can go on and on and on and on. Now you see the problem of this kind of relationship map. Let's continue, right? You have you have Patricia, okay, shipper, okay. She has a daughter named Christine, okay? And she has another daughter. We know her very well, and she's Sue Ellen, okay? So they are all together. So now I have a group of entities here. But the problem is Sue Ellen is also married to JR, right? So now, again, I create a new dependency where Sue Ellen, because Sue Ellen is married to JR, now I have a relationship between Patricia Shepard and Christian Shepard because they are related to Sue Ellen. So again, I'm adding more and more and more and more. By the end of the day, okay, all of those are related together. All of those, you know. Let's say I'm creating. If I create something like this here, if I create a new layout, right, and I start from projects, and I want to have a portal. Yeah, but hold on. Why is there not projects? Oh, sorry. If I start with job queuing, not project. Okay. And I want to draw a relationship like a portal. Okay. I'm starting from job. I'm here. I start from here, right? And I want to create a portal. See what happened? Everything is related. They're all related, all of them. Okay, all of them. So another problem. And whatever, even if I'm choosing, let's say I'm choosing another port of entry. I want the port of entry from Lucy Nice. So I'm starting the port of entry will be this one. This will be the port of entry of now, you know. So here, this one is where I'm starting. This is I have a layout pointing to that one, okay. And still, when I'm there, you see here they're all related. That means you have no way to know where you are in this kind of map here. And can you imagine if you are from Lucy and you want to display things you want to display related record to Christine Shepard, you have to go from here to here to here, right? Then you have to go to here. You need so you need to go to here, and then go back there, and there. So you have to go down 6 relationships to get the data you need. So by the end of the day, if you do something like that, if you have a portal, okay, and you want to take this information here, this portal will be like, if you want to display that portal, you have the time to do your laundry of the week, okay, just to show one record in this portal. It will be slow to death and you have no way to identify where you are. So what you do, you put some names, some crazy names and stuff like that, right? To know where you're from. And I know many developers still using the spider web as a relationship map. They constantly call the relationship map to see physically where they are. You know, physically you need to consult where you are, because you don't know where you are unless you use naming and stuff like that. But still, because everything related together, you are slowing down your solution very, very much. So you tell me why FileMaker let the relationship to be a spider web. The answer is in FileMaker 7. FileMaker 7, this is where you FileMaker invented this relationship mapping. Before 7, we didn't have a relationship map like this. When I was at FileMaker, I met the guy who invented this, Chris. He invented the relationship map. When he first saw people using the Anchor Bouy, he was horrified, because he never intended the software to FileMaker 7. I mean, he never intended the relationship to be used that way. He intended the relationship to be used the way I'm showing you right now. But that was great in 20 years ago. Today, it's no longer something you can use. Why? It's because our solutions, database, whatever you want to call it, are way too complex. If you have a little file, like a small file, like, you know, we have 2 tables, 3 tables, and 2 or 3 relationships, yeah, fine. You can use Spiderweb. You don't need to bother with the Anchor Bouy. If you have a very small file, no problem. You know, like I said, 5 table and 10 field and 2 relationships. Oh, that's fine. But if you have a giant, humongous solution like I'm working on, and you use Spiderweb, you need to buy a big chunk of Tylenol, because you will need it. So now you say, okay, Nick, this is great, but what can I do? What is your freaking Anchor Bouy? Okay. So let's take that on the side. I'm keeping everything. Then I can give the file to the people, for download at the end. Okay. Now I'm going to use. The Anchor Bouy. So let's say I'm starting with. Oh yeah, unfortunately, I need to destroy that. Otherwise, the name will be. Okay. So I'm starting with Jock. He's the father. Oh, I still have a Jock somewhere. Where? You don't have it.
You just removed him.
Yeah, maybe. But he shouldn't have done that. But anyway. Oh, I want this. Okay. Yeah. So I'm starting from here, and now I'm saying, okay, you have JR, okay, which is, first of all, you have Miss Eddie, okay, and then you have the wife, and then you have JR, okay, and then you have Bobby, please Ken, or whatever, I don't know, Foxy Jack, and then you have you have Gary, which is son. He has illegitimate son, and you have what's the name? No, that Gary. No, you have Ray, illegitimate son. Okay, so you have all those people. So all those people, they're all linked to Jock. Okay, they're all linked to Jock like this. Okay. Okay, so they're all linked to Jock like this, and so you can present that way, okay? So this is it, okay? Then you have another family. Remember, we have Digger Browns, okay? So Digger Browns has a son, Cliff. Okay. First of all, he has a wife, Rebecca. Okay. And then he has a son, Cliff. Actually, it's Rebecca Wentworth. Or there's an importance here. Cliff Barnes, Pamela. So it's Pamela Barnes here. Okay. And then that's it. Okay. So that's another family. So they are related to Digger.
We have
now
We have one quick question.
Yeah.
David said, do you create different Anchor Bouy relations for every layout?
Yes, so I'm coming here.
Okay.
Okay, so here you can see I have Anchor Bouy. Anchor Bouy. So let's say now, you can see I have two different entities. I have Job, Ewing, the Ewing family here, and I have the Bond family. Okay, and to finish my demonstration, I have the Shepard family, which is you have Patricia. Okay, and she has Christine, right? And you have Swinton. Okay, so, and so I have another one here. For the moment, like I said, we don't care about the relationship here. What is important here to see that I have three Anchor Bouy. I have the Ewing, the Bonds, and the Shepherds. Okay, so this is what I have. So let's say now I'm validating this, and I want to start with Jock Ewing. So I start with Jock. So I'm starting with this one. Okay, this guy here. Okay, and I want to have a relationship. Okay. Oh, related table: Bobby, Gary, JR, Miss Eddie, and Ray. But all the Cliffes and all the Bondses and all the Shepherds, they're not related. So you can see here the big difference. So I know where I'm going here. You know, I know what I'm saying. So now, so you see, let's say I'm starting with another anchor. I'm starting with the anchor of what's the name of Digger. Now I'm creating a portal here and say, hey, I have Cliff, Pamela, and Rebecca, and you guessed it. If I say I want Patricia Shepard, okay, and here I have if I open this, now I have those two related. So now another question, the $1 million question. Nick, Pamela, she's married to Bobby Ewing. True. So what you guys do, and this is wrong, very wrong, right, very wrong, is to do this. Okay. Now it's no longer Anchor Bouy. It's back to the freaking spider web. And I tell you why. Now, you remember? I start from Jock Ewing. And now I'm doing this. And look what happened. Oh, I have the bounces in the middle now. Just because you put a relationship between Pamela and Bobby, now you have all the bounce family in the middle, and you don't want that first. Okay, so no. There's two ways to do this. First way, okay, you say, yeah, Bobby is married, but he's not married to Pamela Barnes. She's married to Pamela Ewing because she's married. So that's it. Now it's clear. It's very clear that Bobby is married to Pamela, and that's it. He's not married with Cliff Barnes or Rebecca. He's not, right? So now the big difference is this: is when you hear and you ask for a relationship here, you can see you have Bobby, Gary, JR, and Pamela. That's it. You don't have the Diggers and all the other people. Okay. Same here. Okay. So that's the first way to do this. Okay, that's the first way to do this. This is when you don't need an anchor for Bobby. Let me explain. This is an anchor. That means this is a main port of entry. This is where you're going to sit a layout. You're going to sit the layout. You're going to attach a layout to those anchors. That way you have the layout, and those are related records. This is a layout, and those related records. This is a layout, job queuing. This is the main, it's the main one, okay? And then you have all the relationship. You say, oh, I want the Bobby units, and I want the Gary units, and you know what I mean. So those are related records, related to job queuing. So you know where you are. You hear, and then you can access those. Okay?
Got it.
So now, that is when, let's say now, I want to create the marriage of Pamela and Bobby. Okay? But I want to create a new Anchor Bouy that I call Bobby Ewing. Okay? Bobby Ewing 2, which is normal because I cannot name. And then I have the Pamela Ewing, okay, 2 also. And then I have another Anchor Bouy with one relationship. I have this one and this one, okay? And now you can do something else. You say, okay, yes, it's true, Pamela Ewing, but Bobby also has a son, Christopher. Okay. Oops. I'm Christopher now. Okay. So he has a son, Christopher. So you can attach. So if you need a point of entry to Bobby, that means if I need a layout that points to Bobby, 2, now my relationship here will be those 2. Now, if I am in jock, okay, that I'm back to the first one, and I want to say, yes, Bobby is married to Pamela, and he has a son, Christopher. Okay, then I can do this. So now I have very, very explicit relationship. I know that those are related to Bobby, right? And by jock. So the Anchor Bouy is jock. When I start from here, I can access to Bobby, and from Bobby, I can access to Pamela and Christopher. But if I start from Bobby, I have access to Pamela and Christopher with those entities, with those TOs. So you can see the big difference we have before. We have a giant freaking mess with the Anchor Bouy, and a big mess, and we fix the mess. A big mess with the spider web, and we clean the mess with the Anchor Bouy. So now, if you do crazy thing like this, you link those together, right? Mm-hmm. Go back to the spider web madness, and now everybody again is linked together. Everybody. And you don't want that. You want to have very distinct access to this, and I show you here with that, and I think this family kind of relationship was the best way to demonstrate that you can have access to the same data from different points of entries very clearly. Before with the Anchor Bouy, I have another example. I kept a copy of it. See, with this kind of stuff, who is who and where and when and what? Yeah, it's
ugly. It's a mess.
You don't know. Okay, you have clip bonds here, and then you have another clip bond here, and you have another clip bond there. I mean, you see how you know where you are. It's a big mess. Here, very clear. Everything is identified. There's no problem. And if you need something, for example, okay, from here, from Patricia Shepard, I need to know that Sue Ellen is with JR. No problem. You create a relationship to JR, and that's it. The problem is resolved. Oh, I have one. I don't need to say I want Patricia to be linked to JR like this. Because if you do this, you go back again to the spider web, and we don't want that, right? So each entities, each blocks like that, I call that clans. And I'm going to use that terminology tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to learn how to name things. Okay, in every single relationship between human beings, calling things, knowing who is who, to whom you are making much less mistakes, and you have a better relationship when you know who is where, who is who, and what is doing. It's the same in a company. You have a relationship with company. You're a manager, or you are colleagues and stuff like that. So you have a relationship, okay? And you need to name the thing. You need to put things, right? Tomorrow we are going to learn how to name things to make all of this even simpler and even more, let's say, obvious than what it is now. Okay. Perfect. So, any questions here? Okay.
Yeah. How many levels can we have?
Sorry?
This one person's asking, how many levels can we have? And TK clarified, which is what I was thinking, is how many grandchildren. So how far can you go?
Okay. So I won't go too far, but it depends. It depends of many things. Let's say you have a solution where you are displaying things here from this to this. This is okay. If you start doing something like this, I'm enjoying, okay? Mm-hmm. And I want to go to Christopher. That means I'm going 2 levels deep. Let me explain. I'm going 2 levels deep. I'm in here. Through Bobby, I'm going to Christopher. If I'm doing this will be slow. This will be very, very slow. But let's say in the Bobby table, let's say I have a calculation. I have a auto entry calculation that needs to question Christopher. That's okay. If the relationship that if you don't display the field that is here from here anywhere, that's okay. So you have many. You cannot display things like this, like this, like this, like this. If you do this, you do even worse. It becomes even worse than our spider web. But if you have to do this, that means you have a design flaw. That means something is wrong. That means something, maybe you could have done things differently. In that case, I'm doing things like, let's say, I absolutely need to display things from this guy here, okay? In this here. In that case, I'm doing this. I'm making my possible to get a relationship directly from Jock to Christopher, not through Bobby. So there's many ways you can do that. So I would say you can go somewhat far there, but not too far. Otherwise, it won't work. But I can show you something here. I can show you real. Once again, I'm not going to distribute this file, but actually, let's take the FM Launchpad. This is a file which has you see what I mean. So you have one Anchor Bouy, and then you have one. You have this one is the main one, and this one I use it for, consultation through whatever, here I have a script, for example, that's set a field from here, from that context. I'm setting a field with an information that I get from here. So it's okay because the set field occurs from here. So I can go there. But you see, I never go down, never, The most I go is this, one level, always. And I can even show you even bigger files where, what's the name? Where I'm never go more than this. If I do, that means I have a problem, and at one point I need to fix it. Okay. Sometimes we do because you run out of time or stuff like that, and you need to deliver to the customer. But most of the time I don't do that. So one important thing is table occurrences group tilt is cascading deletes. It only takes 1 year. Okay, now I need to start watching this. Yeah. Watch the show is good. You mean grandchildren? Yeah. Thanks. So okay. So question. It doesn't use notes. It uses a full bunch of TL. Remember, everybody's okay. Maybe I use it. Everybody's talking about the Dallas TV show.
Yes.
So we don't have any question in this. I mean.
No.
Is people? Do you guys understand this, or are you not interested? Right? That's
no,
what
yeah,
I
think that we have like a handful of people in here who this is helpful for. That they're new to the relationships in the Anchor Bouy, and so I think they're just taking it all in. Maybe they'll have questions, but maybe not right now. And for some of our longtime listeners, I'm sure they've.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you know FileMaker for years, this day wasn't very helpful. But I cannot do because the boss told me many times that I need to start slow and go gradually. Tomorrow we are going to learn things more interesting than this, and we are going to I'm going to show you. Okay, one of the way to use that. Of course, everybody can do. Can use their own whatever. They can. Everybody, you can do whatever you want, but you have people like me where we have a 35 plus experience, and we have learned to optimize our way to work, to save time, avoid bugs, make things easier. Something I want to show before we go, if you have 2 minutes. You see the advantage of this system here. Let's say I create a new entity. Let's say I have a new table, and I call it whatever, Nick. Okay. And I want this here. I want exactly the same relationship. I want that to be related to Nick. Also, you select this, you duplicate. And now you can just select, and you can replicate the same schema to another. And you see this stays. You see every secondary stays together. So you see the point here. So there's something you cannot do with this. You can't do that with this. Yeah. Because it's the spider web. You can do that. So you see, it's the Anchor Bouy is very, very powerful. So I encourage you to start using it tonight. And tomorrow we are going to learn how to name and to exploit these things. Okay.
Perfect. And just a note from Ken that something that would be helpful is address switching an already existing spider web to Anchor Bouy.
That's way to do that. Yeah. We can talk about that on day 3. This is super advanced thing. So on day 3, that will be more about if people have questions and want me to do something, show something. I can do that on the 3rd day. That's one thing I can do on the third day because I've done that many times. And sometimes it's not possible at all. You need to replicate their what's the name? You need to replicate the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you cannot salvage it, and you don't, and you shouldn't. Sometimes you shouldn't salvage because it's dirty.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we can discuss that on the third day. So that will be on Thursday.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, Nick, thank you for today. I know I definitely still learned a little bit, which is always good. It's always good to learn.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you everyone else for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 2.
Okay. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snaps a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.